Hello, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are for another study of one of the articles of the Spiritist magazine. The Spiritist magazine is published, each issue is published every 3 to 4 months. And you can know and read all about the Spiritist magazine by visiting the website spiritistmagazine.org. There you find the link to the PDF version of the magazine, which you will see me share with you in a little bit. You can also find the articles through the app. So on your tablets and cell phones, you can visit spiritistmagazine.org and then you can download the app. Very easy. You can take all of the issues free of charge with you wherever you go, anytime you want to read it. And then you can also, if you'd like, order the physical copy of the magazine. And the physical copy is delivered to you by the partner Mag Cloud, and they only charge you for the amount it takes to produce the physical copy of the magazine. So many different ways we can read and share with others these wonderful, beautiful teachings by the superior spirits. Remember, the Spiritist magazine is 100% volunteer based. Your support, and if you can, your donation helps sustain the activities of the website, the magazine, and the app. Without further ado, today's issue is 41, and it's a prayer by the spirit Euripedes Barsanulfo, as brought to you and I through Divaldo Franco, the spirit describing to us the prayer by Euripedes Manoel, Philomeno de Miranda. And this book is called Torment of Obsession, Tormentos da Obsessão. It's still not yet in English. That's why we're bringing these teachings to you and I. So before we start, and this is a way for us to raise the vibratory level where we are by praying and by witnessing and reading and imagining yourself listening to the words of Euripedes Barsanulfo. I want us all to think about this, another opportunity on learning how to pray. Praying all the time is what we should be doing. And this is the article we're going to be talking about today. So if you were to download the PDF version, this is what the cover would look like. It's issue 41, so it's the Coco movie cover, and then you can browse through the different issues, the different articles for this issue. We've talked about this one before, True Inner Silence, and today we're going to scroll down towards the end. And if you have children, remember there's always a resource for the young and the not so young. So there's also there stories for you to teach your children about the spiritual values we are acquiring in this lifetime in order for us to improve. So as you see it go through here, I'm going to go to the article. So it's a prayer by Euripedes Barsanulfo. This is his image right here for us to visualize the spirit. In the spiritual realm, he's praying with a group of other spirits in this book, and the spirit dictating this book or psychographing this book with Divaldo is Manoel Philomeno de Miranda. So Manoel Philomeno de Miranda, in this chapter 22 of the book, he is witnessing, he's participating in different activities in the spiritual realm, which reminder you and I can do. All we have to do is have a good attitude during the day. We can pray, we can ask God to grant us the permission to go to the spiritual realm at night while our physical body sleeps, and then we can go and do the works of the good. I will read the prayer to you because I want you to feel it. There's nothing that I can say, or anyone for that matter who is incarnated, they can touch the beauty of this prayer by Euripedes Barsanulfo. So we're going to read it a little bit, and then it's more about the feeling of the hearts today. Euripedes Barsanulfo was in silence, visibly moved. A lot of the superior spirits do use silence much more than we do. He stood up, and with a halo by a peculiar light that radiated from him, he prayed to God with an unforgettable tone of voice. So that's this paragraph here is what Manoel Philomeno de Miranda tells us. And now the words of Euripedes Barsanulfo in quotes here. So I'll do my best to read to you. Feel it. Loving Father, incomparable creator of the universe and everything that pulsates in it, have mercy on our earthly children, steeped in the shadows of dense ignorance and primitivism which they linger. Your sublime mercy has been identified in lessons and beauty everywhere, inviting us, imprudent as we are, to awaken to your greatness and infinite wisdom. Nevertheless, we are still distracted, distant from the duty to which we should attend. Have mercy on our smallness, and let us feel your unfailing love that pursues us and is hardly noticed, so we may change the behavior that we have kept so far. You sent us, Jesus, the sovereign friend of the disinherited and the miserable, after sending innumerable messengers of light. We heard his voice, and we were touched by his sacrifice. However, we diverted from the route he drew and continues pointing to us. We fell, however, in the abyss by lack of vigilance and frivolity. We tried to rebuild several times, and you have helped us through compassion. But that magnanimity has not definitely altered our way of being during the past centuries. You allowed Allan Kardec to dive in the body in order to demonstrate the immortality of the soul, when disbelief and blindness about your majesty reigned. And we are also fascinated by the master from Lyon. Soon after, here we are lost in a bewildering array of conflicts to which we have become connected, experiencing shadow and pain, oblivious of the guidelines presented. At the dawn of the announced new era, allow your unfading light to brighten with us, freeing us from all the darkness and pointing us to the discernment to love and to serve you with dedication and selflessness. Sublime Parent, have mercy on us, favoring us with the understanding that will help us eliminate the evil that still lingers in us, while developing the goodness that will free us forever from the inferiority that predominates in our spiritual nature. May you then be praised forever and ever, Venerable Father. Unquote. I'm going to invite you to go back to issue 41 and read and reread many times this message. We are yet in the times of the earth where evil is prevailing. The selfishness that we bring with us from many lifetimes still prevailing when we see ourselves separate from others, when we feel that we have the right to be aggressive, when we are hoarding resources beyond the needs that we have instead of using those for the common good. Yet, the superior spirits are untiring. They are always working for on our behalf. Your mentor is with you right now. The mentors of the Spiritist magazine are with us right now, inspiring us to be together, giving us this example of how to truly share with God our needs, our doubts, our hopes, so that we can better connect with our Creator, honoring this chance that we have to be together today, to be incarnated on the earth. Not an easy task, but also not by chance. And definitely, we're not all victims. We're truly here as a result of the actions we've taken in the past. Therefore, our future, that, as Euripedes reminds us, Jesus is continuously pointing to us, can be bright, can be enlightened, can be less heavy. It's up to you and I to continue the work every single day with prayer, with good thoughts, with good attitudes, redressing mistakes, improving ourselves, the whole gamut of things we can do. So now, Manoel Philomeno de Miranda is going to describe to us what those in the presence of the prayer experienced. And that's what you and I can experience when the prayer comes from the heart, even if we don't have Euripedes Barsanulfo praying for us or with us. When a heartfelt prayer is said at your home, at your Spiritist center, and any other religious group, at work, then we can feel what they're going to describe right now. He says, the prayerful, Manoel Philomeno de Miranda, the prayerful spirit conducted the prayer. The ambient light decreased during the prayer, while the peregrine brightness of the moonlight invaded the room, protected by harmonic harp chords strummed away with unusual mastery. Simultaneously, colorful rose petals fell from the ceiling and gently diffused as they touched us. This is the environment that we can create when we pray. And that's why we combine the teachings we receive here with all of the other good programming Kardec created. When we create this ambience, when we are praying, we decrease the stimuli, we put away our devices, we dim the light of the Spiritist center because we want to focus inwardly. We want to feel the teachings, in addition to knowing of them. So the light decreased, the moonlight shined, and there was music in the environment. At the same time that colorful petals were falling down, soothing and diffusing when they reached them. I'm pretty sure those were rose petals that can contain soothing vibrations, healing vibrations. And that's when we pray together, when we repeat the words of the prayer together, that's what we get. But the prayer has to come from the heart to honor God as always. Now the people were crying, he says. Deep tears streamed down our silent faces. They didn't go like we do immediately to chit-chat because we are uncomfortable with silence. They were crying as they felt the emotions of the prayer, confirming our emotional commitment with the duty that will never disappear from our spiritual paths. So why are we now thinking that we're going to be on the earth just enjoying and taking time off and enjoying The duty is there for you and I to fulfill, the duty of service, the duty of help, the duty of putting our words in alignment with our actions. And if we value the teachings of Spiritism, what would that look like? Going to the Spiritist Center, volunteering, reading the teachings, doing programming like this, sharing it with others, donating financial resources so we can pay the rent, the light, the equipment. The duty will never disappear. We don't go to heaven, because heaven is a state of being, not necessarily a place, and sit there on a cloud eating grapes and playing chords. Maybe we'll have a moment of rest, but then the need for work comes, because work is alone. And then we have the duty to give back to those who have given us. He says, for a few minutes, the atmosphere remained in deep silence, listening to the pulse of nature, receiving the ineffable divine protection. Another teaching, when we are listening to this, and we are going to a Spiritist Center, watching a lecture online, how many seconds does it take between someone closes the prayer and we're all chit-chatting? Very common. But then in the spiritual realm, as Manoel, Philomeno, and Miranda is witnessing this, Euripedes Barsanulfo prayed. There were showers of light, there were petals, they were crying with their deep commitment, and then they remain in deep silence listening to nature. How many times we need to be comfortable listening instead of doing, talking, just one mouth, two ears. Let's listen to the beauty that surrounds us. Slowly, the light of the environment took over, and we looked at each other, moved and happy. The unusual meeting was closed, so it was done. We said goodbye to all of the new friends, certain that we would opportunely meet again somewhere else in the great march to God. So we come together, we're happy to see one another. It's a community, it's about sharing the experience of being a spiritist, but it's also about silence, reverence. It's about preparing to go to the center, praying before walking in. Be mindful of what I'm wearing. Be mindful of the attention I bring into myself. Be mindful of not just be silent in the outward manner, which is the other message we talked about, true inner silence, where we may be quiet, but our mind is going. Then we quieten. And then we meet our friends. We go and apply the teachings in our daily lives, and we return. Because when the worker is ready, work appears, right? Now, Euripedes kindly escorted us to the door. So they're like, okay, time to leave, embracing us with affection. He also made the community available whenever we needed it. So he was receiving the spirits into his community and say, we are here if you need. Now, Manoel, Philomeno, and Miranda kissed the hands of the venerable entity. That's Euripedes Barsanulfo. Together with Dr. Inácio and Albert, those are his companions in the book, I returned to the pavilion, where I also said goodbye to both of them with deep gratitude. At dawn, I would return home, never forgetting so many graces received and affections established. Either in the physical realm when we meet, or in the spiritual realm when we're serving. We can return, if you're serving at night when the body is asleep, we can wake up refreshed, thinking about the affections and the service we provided. The night of blessings would give place to future sunrises of work and illumination as we are traveling with our eyes on Jesus, the friend par excellence. So, dear friends, that's the invitation today. Read, reread, meditate in the message received. Feel the loving prayer of Euripedes Barsanulfo, and hope that we can model this behavior everywhere we go. So that serenity and calmness when we feel right after the prayer can follow us around, and then we can be that beacon of serenity for others as well. And remember, you can always go to spiritistmagazine.org and get those resources we were talking about. You can also write to the Spiritist magazine editor if you have something you'd like to contribute to, if you have a talent, you want to volunteer. spiritistmagazine@gmail.com. And until next time, I wish you many, many blessings, a wonderful week. Take care of others and yourself. God willing, I'll be back with you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, stick around because our friend Carol Correa will be with you at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, reminding us of the divine laws. Have a blessed week. Bye bye.